Welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you're enjoying your weekend, Knicks Nation. Welcome to another live stream. Let's see, Mike Miller, Miss Nancy Stevenson, Malik Shabazz, James Gant, Miss Bernadette Lumley. Welcome, Nostalgic Nick, Humberto, Joseph Vendemio, Deshaun Wilson, June Man 15, Brother Superstar, Bostino. Welcome to all of you, Dakota Strange, Prezi the Boss. Good afternoon, my man Castle King Ruel, Guilford McCormick, Jabroni. Who am I missing? I think I got everybody. Kubar Dobbins, welcome to you. Stephen Kelly, my man. What's up? Let's see. Let's see. I think, did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. Jeff Ford, what's up? And yeah, so all right, so here we are. Well, me and Castle King and a couple of buddies, we were just out the outdoor range today, and then we went to a place to eat, and we enjoyed some pretty good food. I think Castle King would agree with some pretty good food. Yeah, this is Zinfandel with dark chocolate. It's called the Chocolate Shop. Yeah, with dark chocolate in it. This is pretty good. So we had a nice time, and I just got back. And now I'm having my after dinner grape juice. Curious Kev, what's up? And yeah, and this one has dark chocolate with Zinfandel. It's become one of my favorites. I only could get it from one spot. So this is yeah, so it's all good. And so today I wanted to go over all of the things we talked about. Exactly, Malik. Camario Jaffer, so V-Spec, what's up? Curious Cat. I wanted to go over all the things that we talked about during the course of the week. Now, here we are, last day of August. Tomorrow is September 1st. It's Labor Day. Once you get to Labor Day, in my experience, you're at the unofficial, and I mean unofficial because officially it's September 21st, but you're at the unofficial end of summer. The unofficial beginning of summer is Memorial Day weekend. And the unofficial end of summer is Labor Day. Once you get past Labor Day, you're getting into school, you're into fall, you're into football season, all of that. So now we're going into September. So the Knicks are probably going to start. You're going to probably see some Exhibit 10 contracts. Good day, Eddie Kerr. You're going to see Exhibit 10 contracts. You're going to see them sign the veteran that we're waiting for them to sign. Hopefully it's Landry Shamet. Get that done. We're looking for them to maybe add another veteran. We'll talk about that. And then the rookie deal that's going to get signed. Then, of course, they'll have the two-way contracts. I'm not sure how soon they will get the two-way contracts done. But the other stuff in terms of the rookie deal, the last vet minimum, and if they're going to get another vet minimum, all of that will be done probably by training camp. And then there'll be a whole bunch of Exhibit 10s. That is basically an Exhibit 10 contract without all the details. It's basically an invite to training camp. It's an invite. That means they give somebody like 50 grand to come to training camp, and there's an invite to see if they can make the team. And so usually it's a long shot. Usually it's a long shot, but that gives people opportunity to make the team. And so the Knicks, being the total consummate due diligence team, you're going to see a lot of Exhibit 10s and people come into training camp getting an invite to try to make the team. And, they have a shot because Mike Brown's going to look at everybody. That's one thing I do know about him. He's going to look at everybody, and he's going to let people earn what they eat. He's going to let them earn. So we'll see. That's where we're going to be at. Apparently, I haven't followed the international scene, like actually watched a game, but apparently Gershon Yabusele in France are playing pretty well in this European, whatever it is, the championships, whatever it is. They're playing pretty well over there. Jay Supreme, what's up? Chris Coach Hauser, what's up? So yeah, apparently Yabusele's playing pretty well in this tournament that they're doing, this international tournament. So that's good news for the Knicks. He should come into camp, hopefully doesn't get hurt. He comes into the camp with sharp and ready to go. We're going to need him to be both of those. So that's good. So the question is, and I had somebody, some knucklehead, accuse me of trying to trade Tyler Kolek. There's two problems I have with somebody that tells me I'm trying to trade Tyler Kolek. Problem number one, I, Raw Hebrew, do not make management decisions for the Knicks. So therefore, it would be impossible for me to try to trade anybody because I don't work for the Knicks. I don't have any rights to trade anybody or not trade them. So that was the ignorant statement. Number two, what I am actually saying when I talk about trading Kolek is what we were talking about was the possibility of Delon Wright. And in order for Delon Wright to return to the Knicks, they need to open a spot. Assuming Landry Shamet gets the veteran, which Ian Begley alluded to, Ian Begley said he's the favorite from the inside to get the final vet minimum spot. There were other players they were looking at, but they're talking about Landry Shamet as the lead candidate. That means if you want to re-sign Delon Wright, you need to cut somebody, waive somebody, or trade somebody to open up another roster spot. Okay? You can't just sign Delon Wright. You need somebody to be subtracted. They don't have the room to just sign him. So, with that in mind, the only logical candidate to be traded, in my view, is Tyler Kolek. When you look at and you can't be talking about guys like McCullough. He is a G League. He's on a two-way. He's on a two-way contract. So you can't be talking about him. You're talking about somebody that would open up a roster spot. So you have to be talking about players that have guaranteed contracts. Okay. I just want to break this down for people like that knucklehead that thought I was trying to trade Kolek, which I'm not. So you got right now 12 players that are on guaranteed contracts for the Knicks. 12. Okay. Okay. Everybody understand that? So we got 12 guys on guaranteed contracts. One of those guys would have to be traded or cut in order to sign Delon Wright. Okay? And you're limited as to who you could do it to. So let's go through the list. You're not trading or cutting Karl-Anthony Towns in order to sign Delon Wright. You're not doing OG Anunoby or Jalen Brunson or Mikal Bridges or Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson or Yabusele or Miles McBride. You're not, or Jordan Clarkson, who you just got. You're not going to trade or cut any of those guys in order to open a roster spot for Delon Wright. So who are the candidates that you would trade or cut to open up a roster spot to sign Delon Wright, who would be your third string point guard? You have basically three players: Pacome Daddier, Tyler Kolek, and Ariel Hook-Porty. Those are the three that you only really have to trade or to cut to open a roster spot for Delon Wright. Only those three. Everybody following me so far? I don't want any knuckleheads telling me I'm trying to trade somebody. I want to look at what the situation is. Okay? So, let me ask you, in fact, let's make this our first poll question. Who would you trade in order to sign Delon Wright? And I'm going to have three names here, which are the really only three names we have. It would be Tyler Kolek. It would, spell his name right. It would be Tyler Kolek. It would be Pacome Daddier, or it would be Ariel Huporti. Those are your options. Those are your only three options. So you only have three options. Okay? You only have three options here. What are you doing? You're the GM of the Knicks. And a lot of y'all act like it. So, okay, you're the GM of the Knicks. You want Delon Wright as your third string point guard. You only got three players you can really move to open up a roster spot for Delon Wright. That's all you got. You don't have McCullough. You don't have Watson, Beauchamp, none of them. You don't have none of them. Okay? You don't have Cameron Payne. You don't have any of them guys. You have these three guys, Kolek, Huporti, and Daddier. That's all you have. Of those three, you're the Knicks GM. You're the Don. Who are you trading in order to sign Delon Wright to a minimum contract? To me, is no question. It's only one guy. It's Kolek. It's no doubt. Why not? Let's go through it for knuckleheads in the back, okay? Why not Huporti? Because Huporti is your third string five. Mitchell Robinson has an injury history. You want to make sure you have a backup five. That's Huporti. So you don't want to trade him, okay? Then there's Pacome Daddier, who has actually grown in stature. Like, what do you all think? Isn't Pacome Daddier at this point somewhere around 6'9", right? He's only 20 years old, and he's like 6'9", right? It's only like 6'9", and he's like 20 years old. Why would you trade him? I mean, can we agree that Pacome Daddier has more upside than Tyler Kolek? Can we agree with that? I mean, I'm trying to be as logical as I can for the knuckleheads in the back. Can we agree that Pacome Daddier has more upside than Tyler Kolek at this stage of their careers? Okay, so you're not trading Pacome Daddier at age 20. Now, I will say you probably could get a first-round pick, for Pacome Daddier. The Don could probably, work that out. But you're not getting a first-round pick for Kolek. You hope you get a second-round pick. But that's what I'm saying. So the only real candidate, the only logical candidate that you have to sign in order to open up a roster spot to sign Delon Wright is Tyler Kolek. That's the only roster spot you got. That's it. Okay. And so, I'm saying, Prizzy Boys, why are you trying to trade Kolek? Like, did you actually think about that, or your nuts in your? I mean, where your nuts in your brain, or what? What the hell? What? I was like, what? Okay, so that's a good question, Guilford. I don't know. I don't know if it was the Don, if it was Worldwide West, or if it was Tom Thibodeau. I don't know which one it was. Yeah. So you're in a championship, hopefully, year, right? That's why, and let's say, why are we focusing on re-signing Delon Wright? Well, let me ask you another question. Who plays better defense? Delon Wright or Tyler Kolek? Who plays better defense? Delon Wright or Tyler Kolek? What do you think? Yeah, exactly. Coach House. Well, okay, so if we're all agreed that hands down Delon Wright plays better defense, why are we concerned about trading Tyler Kolek in the year we're trying to win a championship? Yeah, exactly, Prezi. Exactly. You know what, Jabroni Z? I don't know who the person was that said it should be Pacome Daddier, or Huporti, honestly. But I can guarantee you this: there are some people that are really big colic hive people. There are some people, right, that are really, really colic hive and get, just like I would get it with Deuce, they get with colic. Very, very hard swing on that Tarzan nutsack on colic. There's a couple of people that's really hard on that colic trapezes nut swing. You just dudes that are just holding on to them gonads for dear life, and the thought of trading him makes them, very upset. Yeah, so to me, the obvious candidate is Tyler Kolek if you're going to make a trade. Now, it is also possible, and I want to make sure I get this out so nobody can accuse me of not saying it. It is also possible that the Knicks do not sign Delon Wright and hand the third string point guard duties over to Tyler Kolek. It's possible. I'm not saying they should do that. I'm not saying they even would do that. I'm just saying it's possible. Okay? It's possible. Okay? Salute Autism Speaks Knicks. Right, Smooth B. Now, Smooth B answered a good question. He says, well, there wasn't a question. He made a good statement. He said, it truly depends on what those that make decisions value, defense or offense. That's a good question. And that's really true. Right, exactly, Coach Hauser. Coach Hauser, I like you, man. You cool. I'm looking for Coach Hauser. That's cool. That's cool, man. But that's absolutely true. So I don't know, like, I have to believe that if you're talking about the Don, now, can we agree that he has made the mistake in the past of leaning too heavily on the offensive side of talent? Case in point, Evan Fournier, right? And Kemba Walker. I think he's made the mistake in the past of leaning too heavily on the offensive side of the ball to the detriment of the defensive side of the ball. I think he has made that mistake in the past. And I would have to believe, I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. See, this is the thing. If y'all recall, it's about June. We were talking about Summer League. And if you remember, didn't I do a video that said it's put up or shut up time in Summer League? Like, this is the Summer League you got to show. And I've been saying this from like the middle of last year. I said Kolek, and I said it for a few players, but I said Kolek has got to show improvement on the defensive side of the ball in Summer League. He's got to show himself at least NBA level, on a minimum level of defense this summer. All right. So let me ask you all another serious question. Let's go to I think we got our answer on the who's going to be traded deal. Let me ask you all, here's another one. Let me ask you all, let's start a poll on this. Ready? All right. Are you ready? Here's another poll. Here's the question of the poll. Did Tyler Kolek show great defensive improvement in Summer League? That would be yes or no. Did Tyler Kolek show great defensive improvement in Summer League? Because before the summer, I said Kolek had to show serious defensive improvement. I said he didn't have to be all NBA defense, but he had to at least be league average. And I don't think he showed defensive improvement in the Summer League. And let's go down the list. I think it can be safely said, tell me if I'm wrong, didn't Kevin McCullough Jr. show great improvement from his early part to Did not Kevin McCullough Jr. show great improvement in summer league? Overall, Kevin McCullough Jr., what you think? I think he showed great improvement in summer league. Did Ariel Hukporti show great improvement in summer league? I think he did, to the point where they didn't even want to play him no more because they didn't want him to get hurt, right? Did Pacome Daddier show great improvement in summer league? He definitely did. In fact, we don't have to talk about improvement in my view, with respect to MarJon Beauchamp. He just needed to show he could play in the NBA, and he did. So with these guys around Kolek showing that they have improved or are ready for the league, and he did not improve defensively. Nobody's talking about defense. I was just talking to a certain brother, and he was arguing about how great he is offensively. I said, well, you ain't mentioned nothing about defense. And they said, well, they hide Stephen Curry. I was like, no. First of all, some people have a bad habit of mentioning Hall of Fame players with scrubs. Somebody said the other day, I think, what's the boy's name that just got drafted number one? He reminds me of Jordan's effort. I was like, don't ever mention Michael Jordan with this rookie. Don't do that. I don't care if they both put their pants on with one leg, if they both squat over the toilet. Do not mention Michael Jordan with this rookie. You hear what I'm saying? And do not mention Stephen Curry with a dude that may not even be in the league next year. Don't do it. It's disrespectful. And that's why I was really almost spitting out my wine or grape juice when they were trying to tell me that Tyler Kolek is the second coming of John Stockton. Coach Hauser, did you hear that last year? He's the second coming of what? I said, what? John Stockton. One of the top defensive guards in the league in his time. He was all NBA defense multiple times. Top 50 all time. And they were trying to compare Kolek to him. I was like, come on, man. Stop. Just stop. Well, offensively, no. See, that's what I'm saying. Just because two guys put their pants on one leg at a time don't mean you could compare them. Just because two guys squat over the toilet the same way doesn't mean you can compare them. You should not even mention a Hall of Fame guy with this kid. Come on. Oh, my God. Almost had me choking on my grape juice. I was like, are you kidding me? And didn't understand why I would be dismayed at such a thing. I don't know why you would be upset about that. I'm only saying they both fart. You should never mention a Hall of Fame player unless he's got serious. I mean, Cooper Flagg with Michael Jordan. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Man. I mean, they not only hanging, they swinging from like Tarzan, like trees on vines for that brother. I mean, come on, man. So anyway, I just want to ask y'all, logically, is Kolek the logical trade candidate? That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying he's going to be traded. All I'm saying is he's the logical trade candidate. Of the guys that we have available to trade, Kolek's the most logical one. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, damn, man. Gonna have me choking on my grape juice, man. So anyway, there's that. Honestly, I have had people accuse me of being racist because I talk about Black Power so much, and I got the Malcolm X thing, and I'm dead on. I'm all in on Khalid Abdul Muhammad, and I make no apologies for my stances in these positions. But when a dude could ball, he could ball. Like I admit, John Stockton was a dude, man. He could ball. You know what I'm saying? I admit, in fact, I think y'all have heard me say Luka Doncic is like a prodigy, like a virtuoso, like special. So if he's white or black or whatever, if he could ball, he could ball. I will admit he could ball. But please, don't disrespect legends with scrubs. Come on, don't do it. I mean, come on, man. You're going to put the name Stockton with the name Kolick. And then second to that, they were talking about he's going to steal minutes from Deuce. Yeah, Larry Bird was one of them dudes. You don't even want to see him with the basketball. Your team up one with 10 seconds left, and the Boston has the ball. You definitely don't want to see Larry Bird with that basketball. Okay? So, dude was a bad man. There's a lot of bad white players. I mean, shoot. I loved Rick Barry. Rick Barry was that dude. I don't know if you remember Rick Barry. Rick Barry was that dude, man. That's all I'm saying. Rick Barry was that dude. That they won. Golden State won that championship. Now, Pistol Pete, I always felt he was a ball hog. I always felt he was a ball hog. His teams never won. He's always averaging 30, and his teams win 30 games. He's a ball hog. Even in college at LSU, he was a ball hog. I felt like he was a ball hog. But they're going Rick Barry, Dirk Nowitzki, right? Dirk Nowitzki was cold-blooded. Another dude, cold-blooded. Steve Nash, cold-blooded. So, if they could ball, hey, I'll tell you, they could ball. But please, I kind of think it's kind of an inverse thing. I think there are people that are so desperate to see a really good white player that they're willing to exaggerate. I really do. I think that there's some people that is so Rick Barry had 3 sons. John Barry come in the league. I forgot the other 2 boys' name, but he had 3 sons in the league. And that's how good that boy's stock was good, man. He was he was like Secretariat. His seed banging out his seed coming into the league, man. Rick Barry was that dude. That's all I'm saying. There was John Barry. There was one of his sons, it wasn't John, that won the dunk contest one year. That's what I'm saying. Jerry West, oh my God. I actually seen Jerry West play. Brent, that's right. Brent Barry won the dunk contest, did a dunk like this. Brent Barry won the dunk contest. So Jerry West was a bad dude. Listen, let me tell you how bad Jerry West was. They lost the finals, and he still won finals MVP. That's a bad man right there. That's a bad man right there. In fact, when you want to talk about the greatest combination of ball player and executive, can we agree it's Jerry West? Because Jerry West put that whole Laker team together. It was him that traded to get Kobe. Okay. Jerry West was executive of executives. Plus, boy, was the logo for a reason. For a reason. Yeah. So, with this Tyler Kolick nutsack thing, though, that's I was like, damn, what's wrong with y'all? Tyler Kolick, what? Anyway, I think we've agreed he did not improve. Look, I'm looking at 100%. Now, even the last thing didn't get 100%. 38 votes, 100% say he did not improve defensively on any level, really, this summer. Okay? Which is what we needed to see. And we didn't see it. Okay? Yo, Prezi, that's why I had to put the disclaimer out there. You come in my channel talking about Deuce or Mitch Rob or Tom Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's right, Jabroni. But all he did was come to Golden State, go in their front office, and win another championship. That's all he did. Damn, Jerry West is amazing, man. Some guys just got an eye for talent and cabal. That's very rare, though. Michael Jordan is arguably the greatest basketball player ever. Arguably, I say. It's not definite. You got Wilt Chamberlain, you got a couple others, but Jerry West was that dude and executive on Michael Jordan wasn't no. I think we can agree he was a horrible executive, both in the Washington team and in the Charlotte team. Michael Jordan was a horrible executive, horrible. Okay, it wasn't even. We can't even say he was good. He sucked. He was bad as an executive. Okay, good thing he stepped away. But he wasn't no Don, that's for sure. But Jerry West was like that dude. Okay. No, Magic was sucky too. He actually coached a little while, wasted time with that. And then he ain't no executive. Magic is a smart businessman. Didn't take much to be a smart businessman when you got, when you got millions of dollars. All you got to do is avoid whores and gambling and make decent investments in things that you have advisors that know what the hell they doing. It's not hard, but you got to really try hard to be like Antoine Walker or Latrell and lose all your money. You got to be really stupid, but whatever. So yeah, but yeah, yeah, but so Tyler Kolek is the logical, and again, this is I'm not trying to be, I'm really not trying to be negative on Tyler Kolek. I'm not, but I'm saying he's the most logical trade candidate that the Knicks have if they want to re-sign Delon Wright. And y'all agree with me, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to pick on the boy. I'm just saying that he's the most logical trade candidate. I'm also saying that Delon Wright is a better fit for this year's Knicks than Tyler Kolek. What do y'all think? Am I crazy when I say I think Delon Wright is a better fit for this year's Knicks than Tyler Kolek? And I'm also saying that, even though it's a short-term thing with Delon Wright, you could always go listen, every single year, there are guards coming out of college, right, that can ball, right? Every single year, there are guards coming out of college that can ball. So let's just take a look at this past draft, right? I want to look at this past draft results. Let's take a look at it. And I want to look at this past draft results, and I want to look at the guards, right? So if you're talking about guards, let's not even deal with lottery, because lottery is not what the Knicks are going to be, we're not in lottery. Let's go with let's say past lottery. So let's start at 20. I don't even know Jack Cohn, C90s, whatever the fuck. I don't know who that is. But Will Riley, Drake Powell from North Carolina, Jace Richardson, Jay Rich's son. You got Ben Saraf. You got let me keep going here. You got who else? Looking at guards. We're just looking at guards now. Cam Jones, Elijah Martin, Mika Peavy. You got Kobe Brea from Kentucky. You see Jameer Watkins. Jameer Watkins is pretty freaking good, and he's from Florida State, of course. I think that's Leonard Hamilton's last group. And so you got a number of players. We're not even talking lottery. We're talking about after lottery. And this is typical. So like what I'm saying is you could get a Tyler Kolek any year you want. You hear what I'm saying, yo? We can get a Tyler Kolek anytime. Okay. But we can't just win a championship anytime. Especially y'all that know we've been waiting a long time, right? So you can't just be in a championship contention anytime. Smooth B, it's BS. Again, how do I know it's BS? Smooth B is asking, is there any truth to Devo wanting to come back to the Knicks? Bull crap. How do I know it's bull crap? Well, it's very simple. What you want to do first is look at what is Devo's contract. What is his contract? Let's look at his contract. Let's take a look. Devo's contract is right now, DiVincenzo is making $12 million. He's making $12 million this year, and he's making $12.5 next year. He's extension eligible. How much money do the Knicks have? $3.7 million. The Knicks cannot afford DiVincenzo. Okay? They cannot afford him unless they make a trade. And if you think that I'm going to suggest that they trade Mitchell Robinson, that would be the real logical candidate. In order to get DiVincenzo back in New York, you need to trade Mitchell Robinson to Minnesota. Now, that's possible. I'm not going to lie and say it ain't possible. It's possible. They match salaries. Okay? They match salaries. But I ain't trading Mitch Rob. If it's up to me, you better not ask me that. I ain't trading Mitch Rob. Okay? And Prezi the boss asked the very relevant question. What was the point of signing Clarkson if you were going to bring back DiVincenzo? Excellent point, my friend. So if you're talking about DiVincenzo coming back to the Knicks, first of all, who gave you that information? Let me tell you who it was not. It was not Ian Begley, and it was not Mr. Shams, who was also proven to be a little wrong sometimes, as he was with the whole situation with respect to Malik. But so somebody asked, is there any truth to the rumor? And it's not it's not an SNY truth. It's not SNY. Please don't put names on a rumor that didn't say. SNY did not say that. SNY would not say that. Okay. So no, SNY didn't say Devo wants to come back to New York. That would be like an NBA Central, a Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports, all full of crap. How many times do I gotta tell you? If it's not Ian Begley, if it's not Shams, it's most likely bullcrap. Did y'all hear that? So if it's not, and just because somebody came up with something, and they said, "Where did you get that? What drunken fool gave you that?" And they said, "Well, I got it from Google." Look, Google is probably the headquarters of clickbait for the Knicks. Do y'all realize that? Google is probably the headquarters between Poston and Toaston, Isola, Berman, who's supposed to be retired, still popping crap from Florida. And then you got Sports Illustrated. And then you got Yahoo Sports. I'm missing somebody. But all of them are 99% BS. If something they says happens, it's luck. It's just so happened. Like last year, there was all the rumors about Karl Anthony Towns. And then when he came to New York, I called it. You know what? Yeah, I can throw crap at a wall and hope something sticks. But that don't make it true. Okay? Guys just want to say they called something. And that is even designed to get more clicks. Yeah, so there is no rumor from any legitimate source of Devo coming back to the Knicks. And again, all you'd have to do is look at his contract and look what the Knicks can afford and understand it ain't happening. Okay? It ain't happening. Now, next summer, let's take a look at next summer. What do we look like next summer? Let's take a look at the Knicks for next summer. What do we look like next summer? Next summer, we have next summer, Mitchell Robinson is an unrestricted, and I don't think they're going to extend him during the season. I'd be surprised if they did. Next summer, Mitchell Robinson is unrestricted. Jordan Clarkson is unrestricted. So next summer, based on that, the Knicks have next summer they got $16 million in second apron space. They got about $3 million in first apron space. So there's a possibility next summer. And I've been advocating, as I told y'all, an Isaiah Hartenstein reunion next summer. Now, the Knicks would probably have to depart with some people to get a Hartenstein, because Hartenstein would be getting, right now, Hartenstein is on what kind of contract? I know he's got like 20 million, 28 million, some crazy number. He's not getting that next year. So don't worry about matching that. He ain't getting that next year. But I think it's legit that Hartenstein could get $20 million next year. Yeah, he's at 28.5 this year. And Oklahoma is not going to carry that going into next year. There's no freaking way. They're not carrying that going into next year. And why? Why do I say that? Well, look at the tax number. Look at the tax number. The tax number for next year is $184 million. They are $45 million over the tax. They're $24 million over the second apron and $36 million over the first apron. They are going to lose Hartenstein. They're cutting him. They're going to cut. They don't even have to trade him. They're going to cut Hartenstein and Kendrick Williams. Those guys are bye-bye. They're going to bring back Dort. But if you cut Kendrick Williams and you cut Hartenstein, that's $35 million right there. They probably keep Case and Wallace. Whoever this Nicole Topic is, they might trade him, but I think they cut him. So now you're talking about $40 million right there. They lose $40 million in salary. That saves them tax money. That makes Nicola Topic. That makes Hendrick Williams. That makes Isaiah Hartenstein unrestricted free agents. You'll think, well, why would they lose them for nothing? Let me ask you all a question. You think Oklahoma City, with the plethora of picks that they have, gives a crap? They don't. So Hartenstein's going to be available next summer. Okay? He's going to be available. And let me ask you all this question. Does Hartenstein like New York? Did Isaiah Hartenstein love the Knicks? Or did he like the Knicks organization? Did he have any beef with the Knicks organization when he left? I think it was straight money business when he left. I don't think it was anything to do with the Knicks organization. It was straight money business. It wasn't to do with Tibbs, with the Don. It was straight money business. In fact, he was very happy with the Knicks because the Don gave him his big break. And he played well under Tibbs because he's a Tibbs type player. So it was business, right? So Hart can come back to New York. There's going to have to be some changes, though. So the Knicks would have to, they would have to make some changes. There would have to be some changes. So next year, they can bring Hartenstein back, but there's several areas they could trade. They could not re-sign Mitchell Robinson. That solves the problem right there. They cannot re-sign Jordan Clarkson. With Jordan Clarkson and Mitchell Robinson off the books, the Knicks could get that done. They could trade Josh Hart if they want. I don't think they'll do that, but they could. So there's a multiple options, though. I'm just saying, if the Knicks really want Isaiah Hartenstein back next year, they can make it happen. Because Hartenstein will listen to them. They will get him the money. They will clear off their books what they need to clear off. I don't think I've had many unanimous polls, J. Cruz. That was one of them. And all of that, disrespect to Tyler Kolek, going back for a second, was a result of somebody telling me I was trying to trade Tyler Kolek, like I was picking on the boy. So I broke it down step by step and said, okay, there's really only 3 players that the Knicks would trade to open a roster spot for Delon Wright. And everybody thought Delon Wright is a better fit on this championship roster than Tyler Kolek. So, okay, in order to sign Delon Wright, you need to trade somebody. You couldn't just sign him. You don't have the money. So you need to open up a roster spot. And there's only 3 players that you can do that with. You're talking about Ariel Hoporti, Pacome Dadier, and Tyler Kolek. And the unanimous vote was, well, that wasn't unanimous. That was 93% said. The real play that would go is Tyler Kolek. You wouldn't trade Ariel Hoporti, and you wouldn't trade 20-year-old Pacome Dadier at 6'9" in all kind of upside. So you trade Tyler Kolek. It's a logical move to me. That's what we're talking about. What's logical? What makes common sense? Not what our heart's desire is. Okay, but what makes like my heart's desire is that Mitchell Robinson would retire a Knick. But I'm realistic enough to understand that may not happen. Okay, that may not happen. Let me tell you something. If Mitchell Robinson doesn't play this full season, if he gets hurt and he's not available for the playoffs, he's not being re-signed. And that opens up the door for a return of Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm going to tell you that right now. If Mitchell Robinson plays 72 games this year and is available for the playoff and is his intimidating self that we know him to be, well, then they'll re-sign him. Okay, they'll re-sign him. But other than that, we'll see. It's put up or shut up time for Mitch Rob. And I think I'm not exaggerating when I say my channel is Mitch Rob Hive. My channel is Mitch Rob Hive. There's no doubt about that. So but I'm telling you, if he gets hurt this year and can't play for a significant time, I'm going to say he better play a minimum of 60 games this year. No, 65. He better play a minimum of 65 games this year. And he better be available for the playoffs. If he's not, he will not be re-signed. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I love Mitchell Robinson. But I'm thinking from the Don's perspective, I got a pretty good handle on how he handles these things. He will not be back. And then that's going to open the door, and then he's going to put a full court press to get Isaiah Hartenstein in here. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's going to happen. Okay? So we'll see, though. So Mitch Rob got a lot. Why do you think you be seeing him he is in tremendous condition? Do y'all see that? He's in tremendous condition. He's trying to improve his game. He's ready to come out hungry, fire, desire, and kill. And that's good. Very good. Okay? But they ain't giving him no extension until he puts up. You got to put up. You got to put up. Got to be ready. Okay? He gets hurt this year. Bye-bye. That's it. I'm telling you. And I'm not telling you that I want him to be traded because I don't. But I'm telling you, if he gets hurt this year and he's unrestricted, they're not re-signing him. Isaiah Hartenstein's coming to New York. Okay? So, yeah. 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 So, anyway, that's where we're at with that, And then, like I said, Marjon Beauchamp and Anton Watson, to me, those two gentlemen are NBA players. They really are. Those are NBA players. But the Knicks are just too stacked this year, man. The Knicks are just too stacked. Because, look, I've talked to Lee Escobedo. Sorry if I messed your name up, Lee. But you know Lee, right, from Nick of Time TV. And Lee told me that he heard, because Lee knows Dink Pate personally and his family. He has met Dink Pate and Dink Pate's family back in Dallas. And he told me that the Knicks already told him he's going to get a two-way deal. And I believe Lee, because Lee is first, to me, he's there. Like, it's not like he's heard. He talked to these people. So he knows Dink Pate. And he's talked to their people. And he said they're going to give Dink Pate a two-way deal. Okay, so now you got one two-way deal down, two more that you got available. Okay, so now I think, can we agree? The Knicks going to give Kevin McCullough a two-way deal. Kevin McCullough is getting a two-way contract. To me, that's not even a question. Okay, he's not quite ready, in my view, for a regular roster spot, which they don't have anyway. He's not a rookie, and he can't get the rookie deal. So two-way from Kevin McCullough. That leaves one more spot. One more two-way contract. Okay? And you got Anton Watson, Beauchamp. Who else we got? Najee. It's tight, man. It's tight. It really is tight. The Knicks are stacked. They are. So what are they going to do? I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be hard for Beauchamp and Watson to get that two-way deal. And I think both of those guys are worthy of a roster deal, like a regular minimum roster deal. Both of those guys. I think they are. And I think they're both NBA players. So I don't know what the Knicks are going to do. I really don't. You're going to have to let some of them go, though. Okay? Somebody's got to get let go. The way I look at it, if you just want to you could keep Najee on a G League contract, not a two-way, a G League contract. You can keep him on that. But then you still got one more two-way, and it's between Watson and Beauchamp. That's a tough call. That's a tough freaking call. I don't even know. I can't tell you because both of those guys, in my view, watching Summer League, Beauchamp and Watson earned a spot on somebody's roster. These guys are both NBA players, in my view. Both of those guys are NBA players. They have earned a roster spot. So I want to see them land somewhere. We'll see how it is, though. But, man, yeah. So, yeah, Lee was telling me that the Knicks have already informed Dink's people that they're going to give him a two-way deal. I believe that. Dink is, I think he got upside, serious upside at 19. So, yeah, well, the problem with respect to development, Nice, is Watson is now 25. I don't know what kind of development he's going to get. Watson is 25 and Beauchamp is 25. See, when you're talking about development, you're talking Dink Pate, Najee, and Daiwara, because you're talking about 19, 20, and 21. That's the age for development. When you're talking 25, you got to be ready to play. Daddy A, right. Daddy A, age 20, that's development. But when you're talking 25, you got to be ready to play. Okay? And the problem that those two cats have is Muhammad Daiwara. Muhammad Daiwara is legit 20. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to get the rookie contract. And he's ready to play. Muhammad Daiwara is ready to play. Whether he earns minutes on this roster, well, that depends on how he does in practice. But to me, at age 20, he's ready. Okay? So that's going to be hard on Beauchamp and Watson. See, to me, Beauchamp and Watson are in the position of, y'all remember Delon Jeffries? Y'all remember Delon Jeffries? Delon Jeffries, another NBA level player, couldn't break into the regular roster with the Knicks, but they did him a solid and sent him to Charlotte. I think he's on a $5 million deal. He got, for a guy that was a journeyman type guy, I think he did pretty good for himself down there. Let me see, Charlotte. I think Jeffries did pretty good for himself. He had a nice $5 million deal. Let me see, Jeffries. Oh, 2.7. I'm wrong. He had a $2.7 million deal, and he's got another $3 million deal next year. Yeah. So Daquan Jeffries, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're in a similar situation. They moved him to help him. The Don did him a solid. And now he got, making a little bit more money, So, because he's an NBA level player, he's just not too much stacked talent on the Knicks right now. And that's the same situation that Watson is in and Beauchamp is in. Okay. So it's a tough situation. You hate to see that, but that's just the league. This is what the league is about, So we're still talking about no defense Tyler Kolek, and you got real NBA players like Anton Watson, Marjon Beauchamp, Daquan Jeffries, real NBA players that can't get jobs or can barely get a job. Whereas, Tyler Kolek was based on upside coming out of Marquette. I dare say he has not fulfilled it. He has not fulfilled it. And again, my brother was talking about, well, he needs more time. Y'all remember when the Knicks were when Tibbs would put Deuce in when he needed a stop with 1 minute left? Or only when somebody was hurt, he would come in his rookie year, in his second year, he would get DNP CDs. He was getting 30 a game in the G League and staying ready. And then when his opportunity came, he showed out. Y'all remember that? Come on, man. And you're talking about this kid that's going to be 25 this year, and you're still looking for an upset. Come on, man. Yeah, exactly, Stephen Kelly. That's what I'm saying. So I'd like to see Kolek get an opportunity with a Utah, a Brooklyn, a Charlotte. After all, Charlotte is going to have a point guard opening. Y'all say, well, what about LaMelo Ball? You mean Anthony Ambulance School LaMelo Ball? Because that's what he is. Anthony Ambulance School LaMelo Ball. For sure. We don't have to guess about that. He is Anthony Ambulance School. He is a charter member of the board of directors of Anthony Ambulance University. He really is. I mean, let me see, how many games does this brother play? I dare say I would doubt he played more than 60 games in his whole series, in his whole career. Where's this fool at? Let me 6, 7, lots of flash and little dash. Last year he played 47 games. 47. 47. His rookie plays 51. 75 his second year. We ain't seeing that no more. Then he played 36, 22, and 47. This boy is chairman of the board of Anthony Ambulance University. If you send Tyler Kolek there, he's going to end up getting rotation minutes because LaMelo Ball is not available. Yeah, and then you got Lonzo, the double L's for L's, like losses. Like you get ready to lose with them brothers because they ain't going to, you depending on them to help you win? Can they suit up? That's the real question. Can they suit up? Or are they going to be in street clothes with diamonds in their ears? That's the real question. See, that's why a lot of people, they be bugging for somebody to come to the Knicks. And I'm like, what the hell? Why do you want Malcolm Brogdon? Do you realize he's always hurt? Do you realize? He's always hurt. He's in Anthony Ambulance University. He's always hurt. But he's so good. Yeah, he's good when he plays. Are you willing to let him sit half your season? Because that's what's going to happen. Okay? Oh, yes, Mark. But that's the thing. Again, what do we always say, Mark? What's the greatest ability an NBA player can have? What's the greatest ability that an NBA player can have? Is it jumping ability? Is it shooting ability? Is it defense? What's the greatest ability that an NBA player can have? That's right, Coach Hauser, understand. The greatest ability is availability. So you could have talent like Jordan, but if you're not there to play, if you're sitting on your side in the sideline with fancy sneakers, bell bottoms, and diamonds in your ear, what the hell does it matter? You ain't playing. I heard the Bible say, better is a live dog than a dead lion. When you're talking about LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Brogdon, you talking about dead lions. That's what you talking about. You're about dead lions. Kolek is at least a live dog. Better is a live dog than a dead lion. Exactly. Display pieces. You know what I'm saying? Pasted jewelry. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. If you're not available, how good you are is irrelevant if you're not playing. If you're sitting on the sideline watching the clipboard and you ain't playing, you could be all world talent, but it doesn't matter because you're not playing. Oh yeah, Rick Barry, I told you. Rick Barry, you did some Google searches. I don't know. Rick Barry was that dude, man. Rick Barry won. He averaged like 35 on the ABA on the Nets. Then he came to the NBA and was leading the league in scoring a year. I think 75 when they won the chip with Allen Iverson. He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude, man. He won the MVP in 75. Bad dude, man. Rick Barry was a bad dude. That's what I'm saying. So, it's not about race. If a dude can't play, he can't play. I know some of y'all want the great white hype, but come on now. It's not. No, Guilford, the thing is, to me, anytime you got a consistently bad team, it's consistently bad management. That's what it is. You got to really start with the management. Management is what starts a great culture, starts a great organization. Management sucks, brings a bad organization. So what you're seeing on the floor is a function of that. But when you see a consistently bad team like Charlotte, it starts with the management. It really does. So right now, if I'm the owner of the Hornets, I want to know what the hell they're doing. So right now, they got LaMelo Ball. I would trade LaMelo Ball yesterday. They got LaMelo Ball, 24. They got Con Nuppel, whatever his name is, 20. Brandon Miller, 23. They got a couple of youngins, Zion James. They got another boy, defensive boy. It was a Diabate. They got a couple. They got a defensive boy that's pretty good too. Um, you know, so I would start rebuilding if I'm Charlotte. I'm telling you. See, even though I hate Jack the Ripper, Danny Ainge, I can't stand him. I didn't like him when he was in college at Brigham Young. I didn't like him when he came to Boston because they traded JoJo White when they got him. I've always hated Danny Ainge, but I gotta admit, boy is cutthroat when it comes to building a team. The boy is straight cutthroat. And sometimes you gotta be like that. Okay? He came to Red Auerbach and said, you need to trade Larry Bird. And you know what? He was freaking right. Because Larry Bird was hurting his back, wasn't hardly playing. And he said, you need to trade Larry Bird. He wasn't joking. And you know what? I would take his style if I'm in Charlotte. I'm getting rid of all them fools. Give me draft picks. Anybody over 24, buy. And LaMelo Ball, buy. I'm telling you, that's what I would do. LaMelo Ball, bye. Getting rid of all y'all. Give me some draft picks that's going to be able to play. That's all I'm saying. And I'll keep the youngin'. There's a youngin' that's a hustler. He can't shoot worth a damn, but he could play some defense. Is it Saloon? I think it's Saloon. Him, or is it, damn, which one was it? Diabate. I think it's Diabate. I'll keep him. I'm keeping, who else? Zion James, Ryan Kalbrenner, Nick Smith Jr., Liam McNeely, Saklaquan, whatever. I'm keeping the young boys. Kent, I'm keeping Brandon Miller. I'm going to start with them. I'm probably going to keep Josh Green. I'm going to keep that wild country boy Colin Sexton. You got to start with something. But Bridges, bye. Ball, bye. Everybody. Pat Connaughton, bye. DeQuan Jeffries, I might keep you because you on a minimum deal. But I'm getting rid of everybody, and I'm starting over. I'm getting rid of everybody, and I'm starting over with the youngins. Okay? And I'm going to get me a development head coach, and we're going to start from there. And you better show something if you want to stick around. That's all. See? That's how I would do it. I would full-blown do the Danny Ainge on them. Y'all, I ain't showing no love to you. You ain't showing no love to me. What I'm paying you $200 million, and you can't play but 40 games. Get the hell out of here. That's what I'm saying. I would have traded them long time. I would have traded Bradley Beal long time before Washington was smart. Get rid of that boy. He ain't doing nothing for you. Okay? But that's just me. I ain't got see, when you're in the league, see, we are fans. Fans are fans because we in part deal in fantasy. And so we want to see guys succeed because it's just our fantasy. But if you're in management, you got to deal with real. You got to deal with hardcore real. If I'm looking at that roster, Miles Bridges is gone. Miles Bridges is gone. LaMelo Ball is gone. Can't stay healthy. Okay? And let that be a signal to all the others. Y'all better be ready to play, and y'all better be able to play night in, night out. Shalom, Lonnie. Hey, catch one for me, Brother Lonnie. Brother Lonnie's my Desert Eagle brother. Desert Eagle, catch one for me, brother. Yeah. So, yeah, but see, that's the difference. So McCormick asked the question, is it coaching? No, it's not coaching. It's the front office. You start with the front office, okay? Front office, and this is what you need from the front office. You need to have a coach that fits the strategy that you're trying to rebuild around. The Knicks did it right. All right, they fired Tom Thibodeau. Well, when they brought Tibbs in, what were they looking for? Hard-nosed defensive team. They knew they had an R.J. Barrett. They had Emmanuel Quickly. Their best player was one-dimensional Julius Randle. Their starting two guard was Reggie Bullock. Their starting point guard was Elfrid Payton. Okay? And they needed a hard-nosed defense, and they needed players that fit that mold, and they did it. They started with the coach, and they built from there. Okay? But you got to have a game plan from the front office. They give the marching orders. So what are we looking at in Charlotte? Confusion. Confusion. Am I telling you? Do you get a direction that they're going in? Did you see any direction from Charlotte? I don't see no direction. What's that rap song? They got no direction. They got no direction. They got no direction. Okay? And that comes from the front office. That's why I said Michael Jordan sucked. And whoever they got now sucks. Yeah, I'm saying I'm keeping him just based on his age. I'm looking at Canupa or whatever the hell his name is. He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. They drafted him a lot. I'm keeping him just on GP. He gonna get a shot. But Ball, Bridges, get the hell out of here. Let me see who else. Pat Connaughton, goodbye. I'm keeping Trey Mann. He's still 24. In fact, I'm keeping Trey Mann. He's still 24. I'm gonna let Sexton hang out one more year because then he's gone. But I'm keeping all these young boys. If Zion James could play, we're gonna find out he's 23. Okay. No, man. That's what I'm saying. You got to get cutthroat Danny Ainge on him. Okay, you got to get cutthroat Danny Ainge on him. And I'll be. What you gonna give me for LaMelo Ball? He could be yours. What do you want? What do you want to give me for LaMelo Ball? Can I get your next year's, if I'm the Ripper, can I get your next year's number one and your following year's number one? I want your 2026 number one, your 2028 number one. I want your number two in 2020, your 2027 number two. And you can have LaMelo Ball. That's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? So give me some picks, man. We're going to be in the lottery anyway. And I'm building around Brandon Miller. Right now, I think Charlotte's best player is Brandon Miller. That's their best player. I'm building around him. The rest of y'all fools better hang on because I'm building around him. I'm going to go from there. Who can ball? Who's going to be able to stand up? That's what I would do. See, but that's just me. Everybody, obviously, Charlotte's not doing it, but I would. And guess what? Let me tell you something. Charlotte going to be back in the lottery again. They're going to be back in the lottery. Okay. The cat from Brooklyn, Jordy Fernandez, he is in a better position than the Charlotte coach. Why? Because apparently the management of the Nets believes in Fernandez so that they'll listen to what Fernandez wants. And Fernandez knows what he wants. Hard nose, defense, leave it all on the floor type of players. That's what he wants. Okay. And so Fernandez knows what he wants. And the management's willing to give it to him. So I like that better than Charlotte's situation. They're disjointed, man. They seem confused. Okay. And we know about confused because that's where the Knicks used to be. You remember the days of David Fitzgoggles and Derek Fisher, right? And Hornacek. The Knicks were confused. We had no direction. Management sucked. There was no direction. There was just triangles. That's it. Triangles. And the dude was, remember Phil Jackson used to make fun of teams shooting threes? How stupid is that? So, yeah, we had no direction. We had no solid foundation, nothing. The year that Carmelo got the $124 million, they should have traded him. I thought so then too. They should have traded him. Houston wanted him. Chicago wanted him. I'd have traded him. Okay. So the Knicks had many years of bad management. When the Don came, everything changed. That's where we're at right now. Everything changed. When the Don came, everything changed. Okay. Yeah, there was no solid direction, no solid game plan, no structured plan to get you to the next level. The Knicks did not have that. Now, you think Pat Riley has it in Miami? I think so. Do you think they got a structured game plan in Boston? I think so. See? These are teams and organizations that know what they want to do. Charlotte doesn't. Yeah, when that year where Phil Jackson, the idiot, signed him for $124 million, they should have traded him. They should have traded him. They did not, right. They didn't even give Donnie Walsh enough time to do what he could have done for this organization. So that's what I'm saying. We had a lot of bad management, which is why the Knicks were so bad. Yes, we had bad coaches too, but it starts upstairs with the management. All good teams start with the management. You know why the Giants, New York football Giants, were winning championships? It's the management. Okay? Remember their management? George Myers, and they had George Young as the president of football operations. Remember him? George Young got Lawrence Taylor. George Young got Parcells. Management builds organizations and teams. Management starts from there. So when you got bad management, confused management, your team's going to be confused. The Mets are just starting to get some decent management. That's why they've been so confused for many seasons. So that's what I'm saying. So the Don got this gig. Mr. Dolan stepped aside, gave him the keys to the kingdom and said, do your thing. And from what we can see, he's done his thing. Yeah, you know, again, I got to agree with you on that. He said Jackson wasn't stupid. The game just passed him by. So let's say he was modern game stupid. Right? Modern game stupid. He still thought he was coaching Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Kobe and Shaq. And he wasn't. You know. So, anyway. He's supposed to be president of basketball operations, not coach anyway. He's trying to tell the coach what offense to run. Triangle. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, anyway, yeah. Charlotte's problem is management. And I don't know if they're going to do what's necessary to get stuff done, but we'll see. We'll see. But I tell you what, if Tyler Kolek ends up there, he's going to play. Okay, y'all that want to see him get minutes. And let me tell you something. Tyler Kolek, for all of his lack of defense, if he was given a rotation position, he could drop 30 in the game. I believe that. Like, if Tyler Kolek started for the Nets, he'd have at least one 30-point game. I'm going to tell you that right now. He would. Now, he'd give up 40. He'd give up 40, but he could drop 30 in the game. I believe he could. I think he's capable of doing that. Okay. Of course, he'd be a turnstile on defense, but he'd be excitable offensively because he could drop 30. I really believe he has the talent to drop 30 in the NBA. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people would love to see that. So send this out there to Brooklyn or send him to Charlotte, send him to Utah, Jack the Ripper. Let him, because he get, like I said, I think he would drop 30 in the game. I'm not lying. He'd give up 40 now, but he'd drop 30. The boy would. Okay. The boy would. I believe he could. Okay. But, if we want, and I'd rather have Delon Wright right now. I'd rather have Delon Wright. I'm just saying. I'd rather sign Delon Wright. And again, people are really talking about, we talked about fit over fantasy. This is an example. Tyler Kolek is fantasy. Delon Wright fits. Okay? Tyler Kolek is fantasy. Right. Mr. William 1072. I'm not saying, this is the thing. You bring up Jeremy Lin. Now, that's a name that you want to bring up with Tyler Kolek. That's a name you want to bring up with him because Jeremy Lin couldn't play good damn defense either. But he could score, right? Obviously, he could. So I like that comparison. I'm not saying he's better or not, but I'm just saying I like that comparison. He could do the Linsanity thing. I think Jeremy Lin, Tyler Kolek, if given opportunity, he could do that. I think he could. That's all I'm saying. Okay, but Tyler Kolek is fantasy. Delon Wright is fit. Russell Westbrook is fantasy. Delon Wright and Landry Shamet fit. Let me tell you why Westbrook is fantasy. Can Westbrook shoot at an NBA level? Can Russell Westbrook shoot the basketball at an NBA level? The answer to that is no. He cannot shoot the basketball at an NBA level. He can play terrific defense. He's going to give you terrific hustle. He can rebound. He's going to get a lot of assists. He cannot shoot. Now, Russell Westbrook, tell me if I'm wrong, he's going to demand minutes. You sign Westbrook, he's going to assume he's getting rotation minutes. Am I lying to you? If you sign Russell Westbrook to a Knicks contract, he is going to assume he's getting rotation minutes. If you sign Delon Wright to a Knicks contract, he is not going to assume that he's ever going to play. He'll just be ready when you call on him. You hear what I'm saying? That's a difference. There's a difference between a guy that when, let's say, Frank Isola walked up to him in the locker room and say, you didn't play today, Russ. What do you think? I think the coach is making a mistake. He's the coach, but I think I should play some. Versus, what do you think, Delon? I'm just going to be ready when they call on me. Right? So why would you want Westbrook in your locker room if that's going to be the case? Which it would be. Okay. Yep, Roy Gregory, Mitch Robb belongs in the Anthony Ambulance School of Unavailability. And I think I just said it even today. If he gets hurt this year, he won't be back next year. And that's why they need to manage his minutes, because Mitchell Robinson has won playoff series, not just playoff games. Mitchell Robinson single-handedly destroyed Joel Embiid. Wait, am I exaggerating? Y'all remember that? When Joel Embiid grabbed the leg of Mitchell Robinson, hurt his ankle again? Mitchell Robinson single-handedly destroyed Joel Embiid. We're ready. We're the better team. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson handed your ass to you, didn't he? Mitchell Robinson took Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley's lunch money when the Knicks did the gentleman's sweep on Cleveland. Mitchell Robinson took their lunch money. That's why you keep Mitchell Robinson. That's my argument. That's why you keep Mitchell Robinson. Okay? That's why you keep him. Gregory said, well, it's not like Mitchell's in the ambulance. Yeah, he is. But you understand now why I say keep him. You can't just put him in the ambulance and say, well, get rid of him. He ain't charging you $25 million. He's $12 million. And he can single-handedly win you not just a playoff game, a playoff series. How do I know that? Because he did it already. He did it against Philly, and he did it against Cleveland. Took them fools' lunch money. Took it. So what you going to do about it? And Boston, too. That's what I'm saying. So look here. And don't let the boy hit 70% of his foul shots, which I think he can do this year. So, he's an anti-ambulance school. I'll give you that. And he can't get hurt this year, because if he does, he won't be back next year. You'll see Isaiah Hartenstein in the uniform. Okay? Yeah, Westbrook will be whining. If you don't give him minutes, rotate. And I'm not talking about 8 or 9 minutes. Russell Westbrook will be looking for rotation minutes, which means you're going to be sitting Josh Hart for Russell Westbrook. Hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I'm going to tell you what else. Jalen Brunson ain't doing that either. Y'all think I'm lying? You think Jalen Brunson's going to let the coach play Russell Westbrook and sit his boy Josh Hart? Yeah, nah. So, Mitch Robb is Anthony Ambulance School, but don't get carried away thinking, just because he's on the board of directors that you're just going to write off Mitch Robb. Oh, hell no. Because if he plays 70 games this year in the playoffs, just, get the rings ready for us. That's all I want to say. You remember Josh Hart said, Josh Hart said, Jalen Brunson got a big head. He said he got a big head. He got a big head, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Well, Mitchell Robinson could ball, could take over a freaking game, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. He better stay healthy. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And this is Mitch Hive. Y'all know I'm Mitch Hive. I'll talk more negative about Mitch than I'll allow anybody else to, because Mitch Hive is here. But yeah, no, I hear you, Aunt Doobie. He said it wasn't Mitch's fault. That was the dirty play of Embiid. No, I get you, but listen, you got that dirty play with Embiid. You got Robin Lopez, not Brooke Lopez, broke his foot, right? Then he broke his hand on Julius Randle's elbow. I remember all that. So yeah, I get you. It's not his fault. But results are results, are they not? Results are results. See? So you're talking about extension time for Mitchell Robinson. It's extension time. If he stays healthy and we can rack up that ring, he's coming back. There's no doubt. But if he gets hurt again, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. What's it? What's that? Que veamos. Que conozco. I don't know how you say that. We got to see what happens. Veamos. We got to see what happens. Yeah. So we'll see. I ain't making no excuses. Mitch got put up or shut up. This is the year. This is the championship banner year, y'all. It's put up or shut up time. Ain't coulda, woulda, shoulda, for sure. Ain't none of that. It's put up or shut up time. See, that's why I want Delon Wright back, Yuri, also, because it's put up or shut up time. Tyler Kolek ain't ready for the big time. He's just not ready. Delon Wright been there. It ain't like we got to see if he's ready. Delon Wright been there. Yeah, before you came in, that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about. Tyler is the logical trade candidate. Of all the trade candidates the Knicks have, Tyler Kolek is the logical trade candidate. Coach Hauser, is camp the next day, the 24th? I know the media day is the 23rd, but is camp the 24th? I want to say it is, right? Camp's the next day, camp start, right? So media day is the day before camp start. Let me just see. So media day is Tuesday, the 23rd. I think camp starts right after that. Yeah, the 20th, right. Okay, I thought so. So the camp starts right after that. Yeah, and that's coming up quick. Let me tell you. Labor Day is tomorrow. So it's coming up quick, man. It's coming up quick. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens, y'all. We're going to see what happens. Mitch Rob got to be ready. That's all I'm going to say. You better be ready. Now, I don't want to see Brown playing him 35 minutes. I wouldn't blame Mitch Rob if he got hurt with this fool playing him more than 30 minutes. Cannot do that. You got to keep him to 25 minutes if you want him available. Got to be smart about this. So let's see what happens. Yeah, you got to see what happens. Yeah, so training camp on the 24th, media day on the 23rd. Let me ask you, they did not do an official media greeting with Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele, did they? I don't think they did. They didn't do like an introduction of these two guys to the Knicks. I don't think they did, right? No, I don't think they did. So when you see media day, you're probably going to see Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele answer a lot of questions on that day, because that's the first official, day for them as New York Knicks. We got to see what happened, yeah. Yeah, we got to see what happened, man. So, yeah. Let me say that properly. Let me say it properly. We have to see what happens. That's the proper. Nosotros tenemos que ver, nosotros, no, tenemos, no, 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 no. We have to see what happens. Nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. There it is. Nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. I'm trying to learn as much Spanish as I can before I go to Colombia. So, Colombia. Nosotros, J. Cruz, I'm saying, nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. Nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. I'm thinking it happens before training camp, Yuri, so I got to agree with you. I think they sign somebody, Delon Wright, and Shamet, and Daiwara, and they make a trade before training camp. I think they do that. Yes, nosotros, nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. Yeah, there it is. Nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. I'm listening, I'm actually watching Netflix movies in Spanish, and I'm trying to pick it up, man. I'm trying to pick it up. I got till December. I'm not going to be a perfect, fluent in Spanish by December, but I'd like to get much better. Like, this is my hotels on such and such street. Please take me to the hotel. Por favor, the ABCD hotel. Soda 25 calle. Yeah, jabronis, you're going to be hearing loud howls on X from the Tyler Kolek Hive. You're going to be hearing that every time the Knicks lose a game. The Knicks shouldn't have traded Kolek, otherwise they wouldn't have lost that game. The Knicks should have won that game. If they had Kolek, they would have won that game. Oh my God, we're going to be hearing it. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Yes, you like that, J. Cruz? Nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. Nosotros tenemos que ver qué pasa. Or what's the other way of saying it? Telvas. I am going to learn freaking Spanish. Oh, I got the cuss words. Cabrón. Cabrón. And of course, beseme culo. Beseme culo, cabrón. I got that one. I learned that from what's the Queen of the South. Queen of the South taught me those, man. Queen of the South was giving you all the bad Spanish words. Cabrón. Beseme culo, cabrón. Or mierda. Mierda. Oh, mierda. Mierda. I said, mierda, coño. This dude gave me this shotgun, right? Now, the shotgun that I shoot, I don't know, what is it? It's about 24 inches, 30 inches long, so I could push, like I could stretch out on it, right? They handed me this damn cannon that was only like 2 feet long. And you can't, I didn't want to put it up against my shoulder because it would have destroyed my shoulder. So I couldn't know how to hold it. I shot that thing 4 times. And then Castle King said, you got one more shot? I said, no, I don't. I'm putting this mess down right now. I said, ain't no more shot. That's it. I'm done. Putting that mess down. I'd rather shoot 40 for a Magnum all day, every day than shooting that daggone. What kind of shotgun was that, Castle King? What kind of shotgun was that? That thing was a damn cannon, and it was short. It was a little shotgun. Oh, my God. Homie, the owner, was shooting it from his hip. I should have did the same thing. I should have shot it like, say hello to my little friend. I should have did it like that. Would have been better. Shoot. Bullpup? Yeah, that's what it was. Damn. They said, you got one more left. I said, no, I don't. Nope. I'm putting this mess down right now. The daggone AK was smoother than that. this AK was smooth like butter, man. I was shooting that AK. That was nice. I just didn't like the daggone scope. That scope was confusing me. I wish I'd have taken it off. Shoot. But anyway, we had a good time today. No, then we canceled. We had a good time. The bull pup was too much bull and not enough pup for me. Yeah, it was too much bull and not enough pup. I'm what I'm saying. Too much bull, not enough pup. Shoot. That thing right there, man. I was like, damn. The hell? It was coño mierda. Shoot. Yuri's asking, do I believe Mike Brown changes the starting lineup? If the starting lineup, if you're going by last year, which was Josh Hart, then yes, he's changing it. Mitchell Robinson or Deuce McBride will be starting. I think it's going to be Mitchell Robinson to start the Knicks. Yeah, for the Knicks. Hart is not starting. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's no question in my mind. I'm 100% sure Josh Hart is not starting. It's either going to be Deuce McBride or Mitchell Robinson. And I bet on Robinson based on the fact that they got Uber 7, what Ian was talking about. So, yeah, I think they start Mitchell Robinson to start the year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see him playing no more 30 minutes. He should not be playing 30 minutes. You know, I don't want to see. He should not be playing. He should not play more than 30 minutes. No debería jugar más de 30 minutos o 30 minutos de no barrera. He should not be playing more than 30 minutes. No debería jugar más de 30 minutos. No debería jugarse 30 minutos. No. 25 minutos. No más 25. Mr. Roberts. Okay. Debería jugar no más 25. 30 minutos máximo. ¿Verdad? 35. 35, sí. 35. Sí, 20 o 25. No 30. No 35, no 30 minutos. No 30. 20, 25. Sí. Yes, the 3-point defense had some moments last year. Yes, I agree. And I don't want to blame Jalen Brunson on that. Part of that, to me, was Karl Anthony Towns. You see, brethren, you could have one weak link on defense. You cannot have 2 weak links on defense. If you have more than one, teams are going to be like a daggone cheetah, and they're going to see the extra weak link, and they're going to attack that lamb. I'm telling you. So I got to see some improvement on defensive end from Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson at least tries. I got to see more from Karl Anthony Towns. Okay, you got to switch to Talamundo Maliki. I'm just practicing from the Colombia trip to Medellin. I want to be a little bit ready. I want to have some stuff out there ready to go. And then later in March next year, we're planning to go to Ecuador. Yes. So we're going to go there, and I want to speak more Spanish by the time we get there. Yeah. Yes, he was, Coach Hauser. That's why I said I need more consistent defense from him. I'm glad he lost weight. I want to see him use it on defense. Jay Supreme, I think it's a combination. I think he gets confused and gives up. That's what used to happen to Julius Randle. He got confused and gives up. You know, he's got physical ability to do it, but I think the movement of NBA speed offensively messes with him and he gives up. Okay. Or what else did we see? Stupid fouls. Because he's confused, he does a stupid foul. And so that's a problem too. So he gets confused and then he creates a stupid foul. He gives up. Neither of which we can afford this year. We got to have him. I mean, for real, I mean, he is so good offensively that when you look at, like, if you look at Cat, right, and you look at his numbers, his plus minus, see, like, there are guys that are good offensively, but so bad defensively that their plus minus is negative. Cat is so good offensively that even with his defensive being, lacking, he still is positive on the plus minus because his offense is so much better than his defense. He is such a, he unguardable. He really is unguardable as a center at the 5 spot. He really is unguardable. So let me see. Let me look at this. I'm looking at his on-off plus minus. Let me take a look. I bet you it's positive. Let me see here. Yep, look at this. Look at this. During the regular season, he was 6. Now in the playoffs, he's -2. And it's not bad, but in the regular season, he's plus 5.7, basically plus 6. He is so good offensively that he makes up for what he does lacks defensively because he is so freaking good. But I think last year, the 3-point problem stemmed from having 2 weak defenders in Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. He does. He's got his work cut out. But you got to play them. It's not like you're going to sit them. You got to play both of them. So you got to – that's why I'm saying Mitchell Robinson starts. Although I could totally understand the Deuce started, because he's going to guard that perimeter. It's going to be hard, man. Oh, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I just want to see him step in front of somebody, guard the pick and roll. That's where they killed him. That's where Indiana got us last year, pick and roll. Pick and roll defense from Cat was exploited, man. It was terrible. Okay. Yeah, exactly, J Supreme. Chris, that's right. That's right. Yeah. No, zone defenses help against average teams. Against elite teams, they'll just laugh at you and destroy you. That's what I'm saying. Against the elite teams in the league, they'll just laugh at you and destroy you. So you can't really use that too much. You might be able to use it for a couple of plays, but I wouldn't lean on that as an answer to bad defense, So really good NBA teams would just destroy you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll just destroy you. They're just too good for that. So this is the league. So, they'll see you doing that and they'll recognize it immediately. They'll attack you and they'll jump shot you to death, 3-point you to oblivion if you try to do that. Okay, so I wouldn't depend on zone really for that. They could maybe do, and I did see them do this shit last year. They tried a little bit of matchup zone. They tried a little bit of I think a little bit of matchup zone would help. Karl-Anthony Towns is the key because Karl-Anthony Towns backs up. Y'all notice this? He backs up too much on defense and he leaves the jump shot wide open. He doesn't trust his lateral movement, against on the perimeter. And so he gets, he backs up too much. And then if he goes on the perimeter, he doesn't get back. Like if you notice Mitchell Robinson, he'll run out to the perimeter. And when the ball moves from his man, he sprints back into the box. He doesn't just stand outside once he's out there. Cat will run out, successfully guard his man, and then stand out there. Or he won't back up when he needs to quick enough. Exactly, Coach House. That's exactly what was going on. And it was Cat. He was too slow to get back, and he was too slow to attack, and he was getting caught, and they were killing Neesmith and Malik. They were killing us, man. Killing us. Now, with Malik, I give a little bit more of a break because Malik was hitting freaking shots with people draped all over him. He was ridiculous. Okay? So I got it. That was just outstanding shooting from Malik Beasley. But Neesmith was getting in the groove because Carlton Towns was confused and not doing his job. Driving me crazy, man. So hopefully I want to see some improvement there. Somebody just said it, and you're right. O'Connor got his work cut out for him. O'Connor got his work cut out for him. He really does. So we're going to see. Because, yes, the three-point defense must improve. It must improve. Yeah, so I don't know. You're right. I'm not going to deny that. He is what he is. After 10 years in the league, he's what he is. But you can't have – you want to win a championship, you can't have two weak defenders in your starting five. You just can't. You're going to get exposed, okay? So I'm not saying he needs to become all NBA defense, but he's got to do a little better. He's got to do a little better, okay? A little bit. I'm not saying he needs to be, the second coming of Bill Russell, but he needs to do a little better. A little better. Come on. We got, and he can. I happen to believe he has enough ability to marginally get better defensively. And what does that look like? Marginally means that there's at least 3 sequences during the course of the games where the Knicks get 3 stops, right? At least 3 different sequences where the Knicks can get 3 stops, maybe 4 during the course of a 48-minute game. Because remember, he's not going to be on the floor for 48 minutes. Karl-Anthony Towns probably be on the floor 32 minutes. Okay, so that leaves another 16 minutes where you can get somebody else playing some defense. So, Josh Hart and Tibbs will get into it regularly. That don't mean nothing. They love each other. They could get into it. That ain't no big deal. That's only news to clickbait people. That ain't no news. Josh Hart and Tibbs could get at each other's throat and then hug after the game and go out to dinner together. That's just a relationship they have. They both very intense. I like when they get into it. I love to see Tibbs barking at them and Josh Hart barking, but that's cool. It's a problem when Cat is running his mouth. Because when OG told him you need to play some better defense and he started running off at the mouth, that was a problem. And that's when Jalen Brunson told him to shut up. And Jalen Brunson did the right thing. And this is Jalen Brunson's team. Okay? So, yes. So, yeah, that was no good. I love Josh Hart and Tibbs. Oh, yeah, they can go at each other. Tibbs and Josh Hart still going to go on the court and get you 14 rebounds. And after the game, you're going to hug Tibbs. That's all good. Yep. So, yeah, McCall, OG, and Mitch, they are. But you got 2 guys. They're going to attack. Let me tell you, this is the league. They're going to attack Brunson and especially on the pick and roll. Last year, the Knicks lost that series in game 1, as we know. But in the course of the series, the cruncher was there going Halliburton attacking Cat on the pick and roll. Yeah, that was a problem, man. That was a problem. And then they get Brunson and Cat on a pick and roll. It was horrible to watch him throw up all of those damn floaters. It was really bad. So defense, and you know what? I'm glad in the sense that early in the season, every team's going to try that. It's a copycat league. Every team's going to try that. They're going to come at the Knicks, Brunson, and Cat, get them isolated in the pick and roll and attack them. Let's see how the Knicks respond. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see how this works out. It's going to be interesting. But we want to win a chip. You can't have 2 weaklings on defense. You got to have some defense. The second unit, your only weakling is Jordan Clarkson. Everybody else plays defense. Everybody else. Deuce, Hart, Shamet, Porter, Yabusele. The whole second unit plays defense. It's just your first unit where you got a problem. So we're going to see. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. This is going to be interesting, man. But of course, we're all pulling for our heroes to, come through. We're all doing that. So we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be interesting. But I'm hoping this week, first week of September, I'm hoping they sign Shamet. I would love to have Shamet signed by Friday. I'm hoping. Can we sign Shamet by Friday? That's what I'd like to see. First week of September. Let's get this mess done. Get it over with. Let's move on. Okay. We'll see. Yeah, we got to see what happens. Tenemos que ver qué pasa. Tenemos que ver qué pasa. Sí. We got to see what happens. Yeah, I want Delon also, man. We see. Yeah, so OG could only do but so much. He's telling Cat he can't guard three people. uh, we need Cat to step up. Forget Ben Ben Kardashian Simmons. Is he still seeing that Kardashian, babe? That's what I believe. He got the hex on him, man. They got that Armenian hex on Ben Simmons. He was all NBA. He started seeing that Kardashian, babe. Everything went to crap. He can't even shoot a layup. He don't even want to. It's all here, right? Man, yeah. Exactly, Gopher McCarty, and for good reason. Trying to tell homie to play some damn defense. That's what we need. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out, man. It's going to be interesting. That's all I know. It's going to be interesting. But anyway, let me go out here, chill out on my couch for a while. Maybe later on get me a workout in. See what we're going to do. Tenemos que ver qué pasa. Y'all, please be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ay, coño. Coño. Gato, coño, mierda. ¿Qué es lo que guys, man. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. It's a dangerous world we live out here. Y'all think just because that fool came to them school last week that's the last fool going to do that? Y'all know there's somebody else planning to do it right now. Be safe out there. There's some crazy fools walking the streets of America right now. Okay? Be safe out there. Ain't nothing worth being out 3 o'clock in the morning for. But that fool didn't wait for 3 o'clock in the morning. That fool came in there morning time when they was praying. Be careful. The Most High protect you. Shalom.